Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever left a chat at work or a night out thinking, how did I just agree to that? Chances are you got caught in somebody else's frame. Framing is this clever way people shape how you see things, and it's all around us. But here's the crazy part. Drinking alcohol can actually make you way more likely to fall for it. In this video, we're diving deep into what framing is, how it pops up in everyday life, and how alcohol messes with your brain to make you less aware of it. We've got some cool science to back it up too. So this one's a must-watch. Stick with me, and let's dive in. What's framing? Framing is how someone presents information to influence your perception or choices. It's not lying so much. It's about picking words, emotions, or context to highlight one perspective. Think of it like a photographer choosing the perfect angle to make a scene look dramatic or cozy. In social and workplace settings, framing is everywhere, nudging you on how you're supposed to feel or what you should be doing. So let's look at a few examples here. Imagine you're at work and your coworker says, I stayed late last night to finish our team's report, saved us from missing the deadline. That's framing their effort as a big sacrifice, maybe to make you feel like you owe them or to impress the boss. Or picture a friend planning a group dinner who says, everyone's pumped to try this new restaurant. It's the vibe we need. That frames the plan as a fun, can't-miss event, pushing you to join even if you're strapped for cash. Another one. At a team meeting, your manager says, this new project is a huge chance to stand out, but it'll take some extra hours. That's framing overtime as a career win, glossing over the long nights. Framing works because our brains grab onto what's emphasized: guilt, excitement, ambition. To spot when someone's framing is steering you, you need to stay sharp and question their angle. But alcohol throws a huge curveball here. Now, let's get into how alcohol messes with your ability to catch these frames. When you have a drink, it hits key brain areas that help you analyze and question what's happening. Science has some wild insights here too, so let's break this down. 3 main brain regions are involved: the prefrontal cortex, the anterior cingulate cortex, and the amygdala. The prefrontal cortex, or PFC, is basically your brain's CEO. It handles critical thinking, decision-making, and sniffing out someone else's motives. It's basically what makes you pause and think, is this person framing things to get their way? A 2015 study in Neuroscience Letters found that a blood alcohol level of 0.08%, which is about 2 to 3 drinks for most people, cuts PFC activity by 10 to 20%. So that's like turning down the volume on your brain's ability to question framing. Next, the anterior cingulate cortex, or ACC. This is your brain's radar for conflicts or sketchy vibes. It flags when a frame feels off, like a too-good-to-be-true offer. Alcohol dulls the ACC so you miss those red flags. A 2017 study in Journal of Cognitive Neuroscience showed moderate alcohol intake impairs ACC function, reducing social cue detection by about 15%. Finally, the amygdala, your emotional center. Alcohol can make it overactive, so you're more swayed by emotional framing, like excitement or guilt trips. A 2019 study in psychopharmacology found alcohol boosts amygdala reactivity to emotional stimuli, making you more likely to get caught up in someone's hype or their sob story. So, basically, alcohol quiets the brain parts that keep you skeptical and amps up your emotions. It's basically like switching off your inner detective and cranking the just go with it mode. That's a perfect setup for falling into somebody else's frame. Okay, so let's see this in action with some everyday scenarios, right? First up, picture you're at a bar and you've had a couple of drinks. A woman walks up and she smiles and she says, "Hi, are you gonna buy me a drink?" So that's a classic frame, very classic frame. She's presenting it like buying her a drink is the natural, charming thing to do, implying it's expected in the interaction. Now, if you're sober, your prefrontal cortex might kick in and think, is she genuinely interested, or is she just trying to squeeze a free drink out of me? Your ACC might flag the forwardness as a red flag. But with alcohol dulling your PFC and ACC and your amygdala hyped on the social vibe, you're more likely to laugh and say sure, and just pull out your wallet without a second thought. A 2018 study in psychopharmacology found moderate drinking impairs your ability to detect social manipulation by 15 to 20%, so you miss the framing. Another example, you're at work at a happy hour. You're a little bit tipsy. Your colleague says, "I heard the boss loves people who take on weekend shifts. It's how you get noticed." So that's framing. That's framing extra work as your ticket to a promotion. Now, sober, you'd wonder, is that true, or are they just dodging their own shifts? But alcohol slows your PFC, so you nod and maybe you go volunteer without even digging deeper. One more. You're at a friend's party, and after a few drinks, someone says, "Let's all pitch in for this epic karaoke setup. It'll make the night legendary," right? That frames chipping in as the key to a great time. Normally, your ACC might question, "Why the hard sell? Can I afford this?" But alcohol quiets that instinct, and your amped up amygdala gets you swept up in the group's excitement, so you toss in your cash without even thinking. These moments show how alcohol lowers your guard, making you more likely to buy in to somebody else's frame, whether it's a drink, a favor, or even a plan. So, there you have it. Alcohol can seriously trip up your ability to spot and question other people's frames. By slowing your prefrontal cortex, dulling your anterior cingulate cortex, and boosting your amygdala, it makes you more open to being nudged in social and work situations. Studies show even 2 to 3 drinks can cut your brain's critical thinking by up to 20%. So, next time you're at a bar, a work event, or a party, maybe sip it a bit slower and watch for how people frame their words. It could save you from buying that extra drink or signing up for something that you're going to regret. So, what do you think? Have you ever noticed someone framing things to sway you? Or have you ever caught yourself agreeing to something after a drink that you wouldn't normally agree to? Share your stories in the comments. Always want to hear them. If this video hit home, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos.